Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Basel Pod. Sam Basel, joined alongside Michael DeRosa. And Michael, it's March. How are we feeling?
It is March. The calendar did turn. That is true. It's always bittersweet because, on one hand, it's the best time of the year. On the other hand, it means the best time of the year is going to end sooner.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for March. Who am I kidding? It's fucking March. We get this once a year. Live it up, people. Come on now.
Do you feel like? I don't know if you feel the same, but by the time we get to March, I kind of feel like from feast week to the first week of conference tournaments, feels like 1,000 years have passed, but also like 5 minutes have passed at the same time.
Yes, because I always feel like I watch my teams too much and then I don't watch other teams enough. So watching my team, it feels like it's been the same thing for the last three months. It's like, oh, great, I'm in hell. And then it's like, oh, my God, I've only watched Asia Dabansa play 7 games when he's in college. Like, what am I doing?
Yeah. No, totally. But if you also feel the same way, you are in the right spot because this is our fourth Tournament Tiers podcast of 2026. Yeah, we're getting there. See, it's late in the season. We're not really sure. But, it's our fourth Tournament Tiers where we're breaking down is your team good enough to make the tournament right now, or do they still need a bit more work? And obviously, with conference tournaments starting for a lot of mid-majors this week, the clock is ticking. So if your team is not a lock, they need to do some work right now or kind of be left in the dust. So let's take a look at what our tiers looked like last week. Nobody really joined our locks. We felt like no one really had a good enough week to move up into that final tier. A couple teams joined, teams like NC State and Kentucky in the fairly comfy category. Those new teams in the category being, like Utah State, Iowa. Our bubble continues to be just beyond overcrowded, which we're going to end up splitting into bubble in and bubble out. Seton Hall remains our lone long shot, and then Miami of Ohio, we're calling our case study because 29-0, they should be a lock for the tournament. It'd be very weird for a 29-0 team to miss the tournament, but there are just a few metrics that don't really love them. So, screw those.
They should be in the tournament. They won 29 games over We'll get into that one later.
Yeah, we'll get into that one a little bit. Yeah. So now, as we move into March, we've kind of refined our tiers a little bit. Fairly comfy, still kind of remaining the same. The lock still remaining the same. And we've split the bubble into bubble in and bubble out. Because now at this point in the season, we can get a little more granular. We can really see teams that, they're willing to lose spots because of an extra bid, an extra automatic bid, and these are teams, and then bubble out teams that could benefit from an extra at-large bid. So DeRosa, first off, anybody that you feel like was good enough to enter the locks this week?
God, this team is still a Ponzi scheme, but Kentucky beating Vanderbilt, I kind of think I think that seals it for them. I don't see how they missed the tournament at this point. I don't trust them a lick, but they're going to be in. I think I'd move Villanova. Let's see what Villanova ends the season with. Can they take a bad loss? I feel like Villanova's fine. They're going to be the 3 in the Big East. Yeah, okay. Yeah, even so. Yeah, Villanova 22-9 is still good enough to make the tournament. Villanova, I think, is safe too.
I mean, can I offer a counterpoint for Villanova?
Please.
They lost by 32 points to St. John's last night.
They did, but they haven't lost to any bad Big East team. Their losses are Creighton, who actually is bad, but then St. John's, Connecticut, Michigan, BYU.
Yeah, that at-large schedule was very strong.
Yeah, they did get their ass whooped, and they're not a team let's put it this way. They could win their first round game. They're not winning their second round game. It's not happening. They cannot.
But that's not what we're here for. That's not what we're here for.
Exactly. So I feel like they're safe. NC State's still a Ponzi scheme. I don't trust them. Iowa just took a bad loss yesterday. Oh my God. Didn't Wisconsin also lost a game they should not have lost to? They lost to Oregon. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, just put yourself in the damn tournament. Like, come on. Utah State would be the other team to me. Like, how would they miss the tournament? Let's see what they end with.
Creeping up there, man. They're 26 in the Ken Palm right now. Their week was, I mean, they lost to San Diego State though.
Yeah, but
and then they
beat Grand Canyon yesterday.
By 5.
Now, I think we hold off until they can beat UNLV. If they beat UNLV, I think we can put them in. If they don't, they're still probably in, but like it gets a little greasy, you know?
Wins over UNLV and New Mexico. Is that a definite lock for you?
Yeah, but I even think if they just win one of those, they're a lock.
All right. So we're not doing that yet because obviously those games have not happened yet. But we'll keep an eye on that. So right now, Nova to locks, Kentucky to locks.
Yeah, and I think those are the two.
All right. I like that. Anybody else joining the fairly comfy category?
St. Mary's beat Gonzaga last night. I
was looking at them too.
Yeah, I think that does enough to put them in the fairly comfy.
I mean, 8 games in a row too.
Yeah, like I think that does enough. Texas won a big game yesterday too. I don't trust them, but no, I still think they're bubbleable. Like they're close. Clemson beat Louisville yesterday, even though they've lost like 8 straight. Let's see before that.
It's a good win over a team in our locks category. So
yeah, I think they can move up to fairly comfy because the comfy being don't lose to Georgia Tech at home, a game you have a 93% chance of winning, and then you're probably in the tournament. So I think they can move up, but
for the first time, our bubble is shrinking. I like this. Yeah. And then you mentioned Texas, but let's talk about them a little bit more because I didn't really get your full thoughts there. So let's look at Texas's week. I mean, a 6-point win over Texas A&M, following back-to-back losses to Georgia and Florida.
It's a road win.
Yeah, it is a road win over Texas A&M. Yes, and then they got. So, would you want to win over Arkansas before you can put them in fairly comfy, or are you ready to put them in there now?
I think I would need them to not lose to Oklahoma at the end of the season.
Okay.
Like Arkansas, like if they lose that game, like as long as they don't get like blown out, like the metrics don't get crushed, which I just don't see happening.
Yeah.
If they beat Oklahoma, I think they're fine. Like I think they're in, despite not being very good.
Yeah. I mean, I know that Texas is, not really, necessarily a team like in the big picture right now for college basketball this season. But if you want probably a really fun game right before the SEC tournament kicks off, like that's a pretty cool storyline. A Red River rivalry, Oklahoma playing the spoiler for Texas to kind of, shatter or, make their tournament at large chances. That could be a really, really fun game. And that one obviously is going to be this upcoming Saturday, March 7th. So kind of a under the radar game on what could be our last Saturday regular season slate. All right. Teams on the outside of the bubble that you feel like could make a push inwards.
Yeah, we're doing some swapping here. Number one, Auburn's a Ponzi scheme. They just lost to Ole Miss. And I don't get whatever Bruce Pearl said. I'm just sick of them. I'm out on them. I know exactly what he was doing. You're 15-14 and just lost to a team that won 12 games. Get the fuck out of my tournament. You're out. Get them out. Go. You got to go. They should be banned. Ban them. New Mexico.
You mean what Stephen Pearl said or what Bruce Pearl said?
Bruce Pearl said it. Stephen Pearl, Bruce Pearl said it. He said it on like the TNT thing. Was like, well, you can't have Miami, Ohio, and they have to win their league. And then he's like wanted to put his son's 15-14 team. Get him out of here. Auburn's out. Just you're a Ponzi scheme. You got to go. See ya.
Auburn. So out the bubble or out the graphic?
Bubble out. But like if I was the czar of the tournament, they'd be done. They're done. Yeah. Tell Bruce Pearl to stick to glazing Israel. He can go. Just go into Congress now, buddy. Your time's passed.
All right. Bubble out teams that you feel like should, swap around.
New Mexico. I moved
New Mexico
in. Yeah. They beat San Diego State last night or early yesterday. They looked pretty good. Yeah, I think they've done enough to they have enough quality wins. Mississippi State on neutral isn't great, but beat Santa Clara at VCU, have a win, couple decent road wins, and then they finally got a win they really needed. San Diego State at home. They have 2 Q1 wins. Their metrics are half decent. 42nd in the net, beat the team that's 41st on a neutral, which helps. 2 quad 1 wins, 6-1 versus Q2. 1 Q3 loss isn't great, but I still think that's enough to have them in the tournament. I think they should be bubble in, but very thin bubble in, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I think Santa Clara, as of today, would be in as well.
I like that.
Most bracketologists have them as an 11 seed. They have the win over St. Mary's, which St. Mary's just won yesterday. That is aging fairly well. Their only losses it's the Loyola Chicago losses really the thing that's killing them. But other than that, they don't have a bad loss.
That's tough.
Yeah, it is. I don't think Xavier's going to finish top 75 in the net, so that's not going to move up to Q1. But good Nevada win, good win over Minnesota on a neutral. The St. Mary's win is aging well. If they can do decent in the conference tournament, they just can't take a bad loss. But if they don't, I think they're still in the tournament, and I think they should be.
What about that 3-point loss on a neutral site to Arizona State back in December?
Yeah, not great, but I don't think Arizona State's bad enough to kill you. Just on a neutral, they're still they're fine-ish. It's not ideal, obviously. I really wish they had one of those two, Arizona State or Loyola Chicago, but I don't think that's enough to kill them.
Yeah, no, I like that. That's very fair. I mean, honestly, if this was a high major team, this might be a comfy tier resume. So I'm totally fine keeping them in the bubble.
And then I would swap Ohio State and TCU.
Ohio State and TCU.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it. Why?
Ohio State. I mean, they're just the metrics kind of like them, but they don't have a real resume win. Wisconsin at home is fringe Q1 at best. Yeah, they're 1-10 against Q1. Just they have to win games to do it. Could they beat Purdue today and that change everything? Absolutely. But they would have to do that in the next couple hours, right? And if they don't, at Penn State, home to Indiana really isn't changing anything on the resume. So I think they need to win Purdue to make the tournament, and I'm not certain they do. People have already pretty much had the Ohio State funeral the last couple days. They've been man, Bruce Thornton, he's the best player to never make a tournament. I feel so bad for the kid. They've already had the funeral. So, I guess they're out at this point. But they're, again, fringe out. It's very thin line. But, if they win today, they're probably back in. But I think they're out for now. TCU avoided a bad loss yesterday, beating Kansas State. That was a weird spot game.
Mm-hmm.
They won it. I mean, at Oklahoma State is a Q1 win. At Baylor's a Q1 win. They've done enough. I mean, they beat Florida and Wisconsin on a neutral. That Florida win is aging. Fine wine. It's aging very well. Ohio, they beat Iowa State at home. Their resume is solid. It's not great, but 4-6 against Q1 is good. Very good for a team on the bubble. They have 2 really bad losses, which is killing them. But a team that's won, they should get to 20 wins in the Big 12. I would be pretty surprised if they're left out.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a fair analysis. So yeah, I'm down to make that swap. I moved Virginia Tech down to long shots. One team, they're just they've lost. I was gonna say 3 of their last 4, but it's really 5 of their last 7.
Yeah.
So they have not really been doing well. I mean, and in that group of 5 losses, I mean, they lost to Florida State by, almost over 20 points at home.
If you want to talk about a team that could be a very sneaky bid stealer, they would have to be a miracle, but that Florida State team is playing a lot better than they did early in the season. They're pretty good now.
Yeah, would that be comparable to that Georgia Tech team?
Which one?
That Georgia Tech team that won the ACC tournament that one year?
Yeah, I mean, that team was still pretty good. So this team would be a much longer shot. When Oregon State went through the Pac-12 that one year.
Gotcha.
I think it'd be comparable to that, but they're not they're playing much better than they did early in the season. They're not terrible.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
It's just they're never going to beat Duke, so they would just need someone else to beat Duke, and then if that happens, then they can win it.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you maybe more comparable? I know you compared to like the Oregon State, but just in an ACC context, like better or worse than the NC State team that won the ACC and then went to the Final Four?
Worse, but like not a huge gap.
Interesting. Okay, I like that. All right, so maybe we can maybe next week, depending on how Florida State has the week they have, we should maybe highlight them on our graphic here. Yeah, so Virginia Tech down to long shots. I also put USC down to the long shots. They're falling like out like sub 65 Ken Palm. They've lost 5 in a row. One of those being to Oregon, who we've already kind of described as kind of a landmine team for some other programs here. What's going on? What's going on with the Trojans? How can they kind of get back into tournament shape here?
Yeah, they don't seem very connected at all.
Yeah.
Chad Baker-Mazar has been in and out of the lineup. Elijah Arenas has been in and out of the lineup. Jordan Marsh has missed the last couple of games. They're just hurt. They don't have a ton of depth, and they're just not very good. I don't trust Musselman a lot. This team has kind of made their bread and butter at 1, getting the foul line, and like they're a mediocre free throw shooting team. And 2, it's been the defense, but their pick and roll defense has just been exposed lately. I just don't think they're very good. I wouldn't be surprised if they losing at Washington, home to UCLA. I just don't think they're very good. So if they want to win the next 2, they're probably in like all right, I can see it if you can make a little run, but I just don't really think, again, they're another team that just doesn't have the resume for it. Like at Wisconsin is a very good win, but like other than that, their next best win is probably at Minnesota or Seton Hall on a neutral. Like, okay, great. Yeah, you're 63rd in the net, 2-8 in Q1. They have a Q3 loss. Like, I don't know. I just don't think they're very good. Just like they're not healthy. They're not well coached, in my opinion. I don't know what they do well at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And then our final tier, our case study, Miami of Ohio, right now 29-0. They are the final undefeated team in the country. I know we've kind of danced around placing them, right? But I mean, it's just so strange, right, to talk about this team the way that people have talked about it. You stick their resume on any team, any high major team, and they're guaranteed top 4 seed, right? But the numbers, Ken Palm doesn't really love them. The net doesn't really love them. But by every metric, they should be an NCAA tournament team. So for you, I mean, and before we get into your thoughts, I'm looking right now at the last undefeated team nationally in college basketball every year since 2010, and every single one but one made the tournament. And can you guess which team, which was the last undefeated college basketball team in men's basketball to not make the tournament?
Are we counting the COVID year? Because if we are, it's San Diego State that year.
I'm not going to count the COVID year because they probably would have made the tournament.
They would have. They definitely would have. Like,
yeah. So, all right. Pandemic excluded, the only other team to miss the tournament that was also the final undefeated team in college basketball, and they were undefeated for a lot shorter than Miami was. They only went like 16-0.
Was it that Indiana State team?
No.
Interesting. Okay, I think
Indiana State was not the final. They were not the last undefeated team. That year was Houston.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Who else would it be? It wouldn't be the.
Do you want me to give you a year?
Yeah.
It's going to be a weird caveat. You're going to be like, what the hell? They started 18-0 in the 2015-2016 season.
Yeah. I got nothing.
Yeah, and the only reason why they didn't make the tournament was their final record was 25-5. The only reason they didn't make the tournament was because of NCAA sanctions, and that was SMU.
It was who?
SMU.
Okay.
Yeah. This is via NCAA.com.
I don't remember the SMU team at all.
Yeah. Well, I think it's like one of those things, right? It's like a football comparison, like 2012 Ohio State. Like Ohio State was undefeated that year, but like everyone knew that they were not going to make the tournament, or not going to make they were ineligible for the BCS at the time because of sanctions. So it's like, we're not even going to bother talking about them because they're not even like a postseason team.
I do remember this team because the next year I picked them to beat USC in the tournament and they lost. And I thought I was a genius, and I was very much not. Okay. Yeah.
Classic. So, yeah, very interesting. So, again, all that to say, Miami of Ohio, 29-0. A lot of teams don't do that from season to season. And any team that does happen to do that always makes the NCAA tournament. So, for you, would you be confident taking Miami out of the case study and moving them to locks? Should we be bullish about Miami of Ohio?
If I was the tournament czar, yes, they'd be a lock. Like, even if they lost their last 2 games, I don't give a shit. They should be in the tournament. Since I'm not, no, because people are still making the argument. Like, I just think they need to win one of these next 2, and then I'm like, they're a lock for me. Like, I don't see you can keep out a 2-loss team. I just do not see how that is possible.
Yeah. So 30 wins before the MAC tournament is your benchmark.
Yes.
All right. We'll check back next week.
Leaving out a team that was undefeated to March too. Like, imagine, like, that would be so lame.
That would be so lame. It'd be
lame. Oh my God. Like, and even I'm not gonna pick them to win their first game. I don't think they're very good. They don't pass the eye test to me.
No, but again, that's not what this podcast is for.
You know what? Yeah. We would, if we're going to leave them out, we'd put in a team that ducked them, that chose not to play Miami, Ohio. You don't want to make the tournament? Fucking beat them. Don't be a pussy. Schedule them and beat them. If you don't do that, fuck you. You don't deserve it.
Yeah.
We don't reward ducking here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, DeRosa, we went through the tiers pretty fast today. Any other thoughts on some teams that might not be on this graphic that you feel like, might work their way into the tournament picture?
And we can boot Seton Hall out. Like,
Seton Hall off the graphic.
Yeah, they're dead.
Could we see another NIT, another fantastic NIT run?
Well, I mean, I feel like they're crown bound, Sam.
Crown bound.
Yeah.
I always forget about the crown.
Don't forget about the crown, Sam.
Yeah.
All 8 teams are just going to show up to Vegas, dude. The tournament's going to be lit.
It's gonna take a while for me to, because my first thought, my whole life has been, all right, you're not making the tournament. Let's talk about your NIT picture, but it's going to take a long time for me to adjust.
Well, by the time you adjust, the crown probably won't be a thing because they're going to be looking for an industry plant fan. If you want to apply for that job, by the way, I'm also applying for it. I want to be the crown's industry plant, but I think the field is open.
We love the crown.
Yeah, we love the crown. We're next episode. We're just doing crown. We're only talking about the crown.
Yeah, crown tourney tiers. All right, so Seton Hall off the graphic, crown bound. Maybe that could be our next tier.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
Seton Hall, USC, Cincinnati. Yeah,
love it.
Well, Auburn would be there just because I don't want to see him in my tournament. Just get him out.
We'll definitely have a new tier next week as well because when we convene on March 8th, there will be some conference tournaments over. So there will be teams that have clinched a spot in the 2026 NCAA tournament. And that'll be really fun because that'll give us a much better look at, some bubble analysis and what teams need to do in some high major tournaments to secure a spot in the 2026 NCAA tournament. I think it's just
the OVC that would be done by then. They're going to be like championship games that day. I think it's just the OVC that's done.
So that'll be fun. That'll be very, very interesting. All right. Any final thoughts?
My OVC pick right now, just because I want people to be like, "Oh my God, he's so smart" when it hits. Even though I haven't even thought about it for more than literally 5 seconds, Southeast Missouri is going to win that league.
Love it, SEMO.
I might change that on the freaking Jerome that I haven't even started yet, but SEMO for now.
Please. Okay. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for this week's 2026 NCAA Tournament Tiers. DeRosa, where else can we find your stuff?
House Enterprise, Twitter, you know the drill. Same old, same old. MD the Dream. It's March. Basketball Rules. Michael DeRosa podcast. I think I'm going to record another one soon where I literally just talk about whatever the hell I want to. For example, just talking shit about Bruce Pearl for saying that Miami Ohio shouldn't make the tournament and his kid's 15 and 14 team will. I'll go off on that for a while. Shout out Doug Gottlieb.
Shout out Doug Gottlieb one time. But yeah, as you said, DeRosa, your stuff can be found on House Enterprise. So if you're watching this podcast on YouTube, you can see all of our socials at the ticker below. If you're listening to this podcast, wherever you get your podcast, you can find that in the description. You can also see my socials right here. Sam12878 on X, Sports by Basel on Instagram, Sam12878 on TikTok, and Sam12878 on Blue Sky. So,
did you use Blue Sky?
Every once in a while, I'm on there. There's a good college basketball community on there. Some really good folks. So, I like to check in every once in a while. So, for Michael DeRosa, I'm Sam Basel. This has been the Basel Pod, and we'll see you guys next time.